welcome back to the Aristochats podcast, episode 2. I'm going to be, my name is Jesmo, going to be hosting today, joined always by Aero.
Hello.
Benjamin Gold.
How's it going?
And our second guest of the series, Bro1 / Brady.
Hello.
You're a hell of a lot closer to your
A lot
mic,
closer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
And Ben still has that vicious cough. Long COVID.
Beer that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Not COVID.
If anyone's been watching the podcast for the first couple of episodes, they will notice that Ben frequently has this cough. It hasn't gone for about a month.
Whenever I get sick, I just have a cough for the next 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's actually,
deal with it.
I've only had that like once in my life. I think that really long cough that just doesn't go away. Very, very annoying. Especially since I do like singing a fair bit. It's like really, really.
Yeah, it's tilting.
Yeah. Inconvenient.
It's really important.
Inconvenient.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not a bad singer. I just said I am. So yeah, we're joined by, as I said, Bro1 today. So we're going to be talking about all things mostly Ultimate related. Firstly, congratulations on winning FNS last night.
Thank you.
Yeah. I recommend being close to that, like it.
Closer?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll move in.
I would just like
Yeah,
the whole way. Alright,
Always.
here we go.
Because
Lean in.
Hello.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably fine, but to get through like 50 minutes and then you haven't heard a word you said would be
Alright, yeah.
very sad.
This is good. I'd rather be too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
you see, we can turn you down.
Yeah, we can.
We can turn you down.
Yeah, just like we should have turned down Jason.
Yeah.
He was too loud.
So I actually got a message from Dee who had listened to episode 2 of the podcast where we had Duan on as a guest, and he said, "Hey, loving your work, great stuff. Turn
Turn
Jason."
Jason. Yeah,
Hey,
please.
and
It's too loud.
for clarity as well, Era had told me Jason's too loud. You got to turn this guy down. Now the problem was that I had for those of you who don't know, I had exported the audio files on the audio mixer that I use. So all the tracks were gone. It was just all like an MP3. And once it's like an individual MP3,
compressed into one.
I can't
Yeah.
really lower the volume of certain specific people.
And especially since Jason has a tendency to talk over people,
He does.
if you turn even Jason down, you will probably turn down all of the people who are trying to get a word in.
Yeah.
I feel like he was behaving alright though.
No, he was fine.
Pretty good. It was alright.
Great guess.
Better than usual.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just don't get him on league. And
No,
then
yeah. If you've ever played any sort of game, or if you've had sort of rowdy friendliness with Jason, you know what we're talking about. The guy is loud. He can
Yeah.
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 Should have been like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
thespian.
drums.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite part is when something happens in League of Legends and then he would just slam the desk.
Yeah, he doesn't desk clam anymore.
Come
I think he changed his desk to the not glass one. For some reason,
Yeah.
he was slamming on a glass.
You're
table,
here
which is-
He needs a beanbag for a desk. So it doesn't
So, Brady, how did you end up getting into Smash? Because I know very little about you in this respect. I know very little about a lot of the Ultimate players, the new sort of generation players. But
Yeah.
what does your Smash sort of story look like? How did you end up finding the series?
Older brother.
Older brother.
Yeah, back in Brawl. He played it from 64.
Right.
Kept going until I was about 8 or 7-ish, youngish. Brawl, and since then always played. And then competitive was once COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole timeline basically.
Yeah.
Until now.
Because you were Wi-Fi for a good
Yeah.
year and a half or something, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, since probably mid Smash 4 till early 21.
Right.
Ultimate.
Okay.
A long time of Wi-Fi.
That's pretty impressive to get to sort of the level of basically sort of best in Queensland in that period of time, that sort of lack of experience of because usually it takes players a couple of years.
I noticed that a little bit,
Yeah.
I was surprised but not surprised at the same time because my family is heavily competitive.
Okay.
So even when we were playing friendlies, we were always trying to beat each other.
No items, FD.
Yeah.
Did you just play with your brother, or did you have other family members as well?
Just me and my brother.
And he,
Sometimes sisters would join in, but that was because I would beg them.
right.
If my brother's out for like a week or so, I'm like, fucking play with me now.
That's actually so relatable because I have 2 older sisters, and I used to play Brawl, and I lived in Coffs Harbour, which had no scene, so I'd have to travel to Queensland to play.
Yeah. Well, it's good 4 hours, 5 hours.
or Wi-Fi, but then you'd be lagging and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I used to, and my sisters have they cannot game. They
No
can't.
understanding.
So I kind of like tried to teach them the controls and we would play and even though I just like viciously 3-stocking them, I'm like play like please.
Yeah.
Like I need like a moving sandbag.
Yes,
Let's go.
you're a person.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And your brother never competed, never went to any tournaments?
He came to the first, let's say 3 or 4 that I went to,
Oh, cool.
and since then he's been to a couple here and there, but he hasn't been able to come for the last 7 to 8 months.
Right.
So if he was able to come, he'd be as good as I am, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, but neck and neck, he's 28, 29,
Wow.
but he never stops moving.
And
Right.
how old are you?
20.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And
That's really
who
cool.
does he play?
He used to main game and watch the meta hype somehow. So, and now now he's on Roy PT.
Roy PT.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's where your Game & Watch came from as well. So Being
Kind of.
inspired
I just remember getting my ass kicked a bunch, and I was
Right.
like, this looks easy. So I just did it, and I was like, yeah, it's easy. Let's
that's
go.
fair.
It's kind of fun to think about how many players might be like that in the different scenes of Australia who like they just don't go to tournaments but they're actually like really good.
Yeah.
Could be like best in the state or certainly up there. Maybe
Yeah.
like your siblings of top players or their friends or something who just don't go to tournaments or
Yeah.
just Wi-Fi warriors.
Even Churupon, who's pretty good,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has either a brother or a cousin, I can't remember, Moo,
Yeah.
who like will only enter doubles pretty much, and even then
There's always somebody
he
else.
he rocks up like once a year, that kind of thing. But like if he played consistently, went to tournaments, he would easily be PR, like
Yeah.
very strong player. But just that lack of experience, that infrequency holding him back. Even Churupon himself as well. If he actually went week in week out, he would have been very good because he beat Jason like 4 months into playing the
Wow.
game or something like
That's
that.
a lot.
Like,
Well, it took a lot of players like 3 years,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Like a lot of them never
Yeah.
got to that point.
yeah, back at Sunny set up in
Yeah.
2019.
So, you mentioned that you essentially thought that you were going to be successful pretty early on when you started competing.
Well, I didn't necessarily think it necessarily, but it wasn't like it was a shock or a surprise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Given I played on Wi-Fi brackets for about a year prior,
Right.
leading into it,
Yeah. So you had some
at that point I was
experience,
basically, I'd say top 10ish in Australia on Wi-Fi at least.
Yeah.
Not
And
everyone.
some
in
pretty
the
decent players play online too. Like offline players also play
Yeah.
online and get ranked.
It's
and
not the
stuff like
worst
that,
either.
so
Like it's not like completely a different game.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
if you look
It's not Brawl
well,
Wi-Fi.
if you look extremely good online, you're not going to be useless offline. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not like that level.
Yeah.
There's this guy, apparently he's in Brisbane, Lucas, I think, is Snake on
Oh, the
Wi-Fi.
Snake. Yeah. I've heard
Apparently he's
about
in
him. Yeah.
I have no clue, but if he
And
came,
he's yet to go to a
he'd
tournament.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Sick.
He beat me in a Wi-Fi bracket like 2 weeks ago, so I'm like, come now.
Yeah,
You need
please,
to get your
please.
ass to there, finesse.
And we need
Yeah.
to get like Queensland back winning majors. So well, I said back winning majors.
Come on.
We haven't.
Come on back to majors.
When was the last
Yeah,
time
I might-
Queensland
well,
won a major?
When I
Well,
can.
Yeah.
It's your hand, right?
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. I was just talking to Era about like when was the last time Queensland won a major, and then you
Boom.
winning
The only time Queensland won.
Brawl Buddies, MS Rasu,
Brawl Buddies?
2007.
Really? Oh, okay. Maybe like Psych as well back in Melee.
Yeah,
also
yeah,
about
maybe
07, 08.
yeah.
Just wait for big cheese.
Well, we'll be discussing like that and previewing it earlier. It's later, sorry. So you mentioned like you have a very competitive family. Do they sort of is it like a sporting family or something or?
It was a bit, my oldest 2 siblings played like tennis, basketball,
Right.
all the physical stuff. They never played games, which is not their era.
Yeah.
Like the best, or the first console was 64, and by that time he was like only 30. So it was just not a time.
Yeah.
My brother Taylor, he never played competitive games, but he's always wanted to do his best.
Right.
Like in Zelda, Nintendo especially,
Yes,
all
right.
that stuff. Everyone else, they don't like losing, but they're not always competitive.
Right.
So they're just like that little sibling that gets angry and cries in the corner sometimes.
Yeah.
But me and my brother, we're always neck and neck.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's games, sports, or just like a pub game.
Do you think you'll ever be able to get him to go to a tournament?
We're trying.
Yeah.
I think around Christmas time he's going to take like 2 weeks off, so he should come to
Christmas.
Yeah,
Perfect time.
Christmas and
Yeah.
FNS and all that kind of stuff. So he'll come to them, and he was getting similar results that I was getting when he was coming to brackets back last year.
And how would you feel if you ran up against your brother in the grands?
Oh, I beat him. No,
You
no,
feel-
no,
yeah.
We played
Dream.
once at FNS already,
Yeah. Okay.
and I won. It was easy.
Oh,
No, it wasn't easy, but it like competitively, I'm far more adapted.
Yeah.
To the,
Yeah.
Much
Yeah.
more experience at this point
Yeah.
with tournament sets and everything.
That's why, like, when he does come to a tournament like FNS, he's not as good as I might say he is, just because he only plays against me offline.
Yeah,
That's true.
He doesn't have like experience
matchup
with Jackson.
experience,
You have-
play
yeah.
style experience, even
Yeah.
stamina throughout the event.
Yep.
People can be very good
Yeah.
and then burn out by the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
tournament nerves as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
I don't
tournament
know about
nerves.
you guys,
Definitely.
but for my first probably year and a half, maybe 2 years of tournaments, my hands would shake really badly when I was playing in tournament.
I get that with like close sets,
Close sets, yeah.
and even like now when I'm playing against like 0-2 shitters, my
Yeah.
hands shake because I don't go to very many tournaments.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny, we both kind of brought up our own weaknesses. Like, yeah, even to this day, I can answer you say, oh, I was a bit, got nervous there. Like, should have beaten them, but if I was, you know, on point and not nervous, and definitely had it myself always. Like, I never play friendlies at events, you know.
Yeah.
If I play any friendlies, I can't play my sets. Like, I'll be burnt out by the end of it. So,
I feel like everyone's gonna have nerves, but it's just like how you deal with them. Like if
Mhm.
you're going into you're playing like a close set in a bracket, you're going to be nervous, I think, unless you just really don't give a shit about the result whatsoever. But it's just how you can like control. Like obviously, if your hands are shaking, this is going to affect your gameplay
yeah.
and things like this, and maintaining your mentality and your sort of your plan of how you want to play and doing your movements, stuff like that.
There's always kind of new layers to that as well, because you think, it's like, okay, I've been to 1 million FNSs, whatever,
Yeah.
like, same in, so now you're really confident, you're not nervous. And then it gets to like a monthly or something like that. You're like, oh,
It's different. Yeah.
this is different. I'm kind of nervous today, you know.
So once a month,
There's
you begin.
60
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, exactly, right? But you might get to, you know, then you get used to monthlies, and then your first major, like, oh, I have a chance to be
That's-
like number 2 in Australia right now, and then you fumble it, you're like, screw it up, you know. And then even after having played in Australia for
Yeah, then you go
6
international.
years,
Yeah, yeah.
you go to America, and it's like your first tournament all over
Yes.
again, and you're like, I have a week, maybe 2, to really put my mark out there,
Yeah.
put Australia on the map, put myself on the map, and it's just this new pressure. Like, even though you've been playing for years, you think, all right, I've played a better player than myself before.
Yeah.
I've played PR, Oz PR, like strong players, and I've been able to handle myself. And it's just different context, different. You know,
You can't
it's
prepare for
really
either.
you can't
can
prepare for
only-
it. No,
Yeah.
because I would consider, like, personally, not to toot my own horn, but I would say I probably have one of the stronger mentalities, I would like to think, in Smash, at least in Queensland, if not Australia. Being able to go into a stronger play and be like, I can do this. Like, you know, Dark Wizzy, Samus were able to take a game, you know. Unfortunately not the set, but some people, like Jay Dizzle, I imagine he, like, I don't want to say he has a bad mentality or anything, but he plays strong, but then he crumbled, like, you know, Dark Wizzy, 3-0, you
Yeah.
know, other
I
players.
think,
it kind
I
of,
think we were talking on a previous episode about how like there are certain players. We were talking about it in regards to Didi. Whereas I felt like
Yes,
if you get on
Didi
top
is
of him,
a good
it doesn't
example.
feel like the set's over. And
No.
if you're watching, you're like, he's down 0-2, but like he totally can still. He might just like three-stock this guy 3 times in a row. Like
Yeah.
it totally happened.
yeah,
And there are some players where you get on top of them and you're like,
That's
just,
done, that's
will
the
win.
set.
That was
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
can see it.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there any players who spring to mind in either respect for that for you? Like players you think could always sort of come back in a set or will not if you just start dominating them for a game or two? Name and shame.
Yeah.
Jix is one that you can never actually
Right off.
think like
Yeah.
you got it. You always
Mhm.
have to play like you're on your last stock.
Yeah.
It's never over. Like last night, played against winners finals at a reverse 3-0, and the last stock he got diamond, and I was like, shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Like I was on
DLC
I
time.
was on 2 stock. I'm playing Joker anyway, and like all that, and it just never goes away. But I haven't got nervous like that in a very long time.
Right.
But I hadn't beaten their Steve in ages. I was like, fuck, here we go. I need to beat this guy right now. There's him, Jackson Dags is one where like if you're up 2 games, up a stock, you're like, I've got this.
Yeah.
Because his mentality just isn't quite there.
Yeah.
He crumbles a bit too much.
Do you see it in the body language or is it in the play? Because there are some players who you hit them, they're down 2 games, they just go like,
It's both.
yeah.
It's both kind of like if I win a game confidently and they're like mashing A on their character, I'm like, I've got it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Or Jackson will like shake in his chair.
Yep.
Dags will do the same thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I don't want to piss them off, but it just happens, and you can't take it away. But they're the main 2. Spamage was one where you couldn't do it either. Like Spamage and Jix were the same. They can always come back for a 3 stock. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You need to act like you need to win.
Mm.
There are plenty of those kind of players, but some of them lack in the end. Like O2 is obviously, but like mid level, surprisingly good at keeping their cool.
they've gotten better at it. Like back when they started like Brawl Smash 4, like new players. But I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just because, I don't know, like competition is so much more like mainstream and they play like Wi-Fi tournaments and stuff. But they're generally, like, the base level, they're better at dealing with that sort of stuff, I think.
It's weird because like if a mid-level versus a mid-level, I feel like the nerves affect them more. But if they're versing a PR player like myself or Jigs, they call a bit more.
Yeah,
because
so like I'm expected to lose.
Yeah,
you know, there's no real stakes to it.
It's either that or it's like I've got this one chance, I don't want to mess it up. But at mid-level, it's like it's alright.
Yeah.
But then they lose them, it's like shit. Now I have to get back at them. But if they verse a PR player like round 2, it's like okay, I'm seeing to lose, but I really want to do it.
Yeah.
And then they go to lose, it's like fuck, here we go, another mid-level.
Yeah.
It's like god damn it.
Do you find that sort of that players tend to play better or worse against you in bracket than they would normally?
They've been getting better and better. It's a bit scary.
Yeah, it's never.
Because now I know I have to get better to like not lose my shit.
Yeah.
So they play better against me definitely, but then they either do that and they just kind of go for something flashy and chuck it.
Yeah.
Or I just don't let in, and they can't do anything. Like they stay in their good game plan, but they don't change it enough to the point where they can break my patience.
Yeah.
So it's
that's the big thing. Like that level 1, like they kind of like they get good at what they want to do. But then as soon as you take them outside of their comfort zone or an area that their character doesn't excel, then they're unable to adapt and work around that.
Yeah.
So really, that's the big difference between mid-level to high and top level.
Yeah.
Changing pace is a really big one for like mid-level players, where you've been playing like 1 or 2 games and you're playing at a certain speed, then you just completely change it. And you're playing just as strong or better than you were, but you totally change the pace, and then it's like, oh man, like I was kind of hanging with the pace that we were playing at, and now it's like completely changed, and they can't adapt it as quickly as they need to do to the rest of the set.
Even like for a more recent example, maybe not as relevant, but like playing you in Brawl recently, like going from like Falco to Meta Knight or something like that. Where it's like suddenly you just roll me for the next few games. Like, I'm still in like Falco mode, you know. Yeah.
Wario players are very good at slowing down and changing their pace. It's like, oh man, I don't really feel like playing actually, and so then they're like on platforms or like whatever.
But having
you go ahead.
Having counter picks that almost specifically do that, like having a very fast character and a very slow character that you can play, is so OP. Actually. Because you can just like, oh, I lost that game, this guy just kind of rolled me way too fast. What if I just like completely shut it down, they lose all the momentum, their hands just stop moving at that speed, and it gets like frustrating because they're like, man, I just ran at this guy, just like rolled him easy, and then you just slow it down. They're like, oh fuck. Yeah. Now I have to find a whole nother way to like win this game in this set. That
was my Wolf and Game Watch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wolf would kind of get shouted, and I'm like, Game Watch time, here we go.
Yeah.
And they have no
down, baby.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And now Joker Byleth is the same. Byleth is just pulverizing.
Right.
So you still use the Byleth?
I use all 4, but I'm trying to not replace, but Joker over Wolf, because he's just better version.
Just better character,
So it's harder but better. So that's my thought process.
When did you make the decision to switch primarily sort of from Wolf to Joker?
It was just before BAM kind of. For BAM, I was practicing. I played on Wi-Fi with Poppet and whatnot for a bit, Kanaji. And I knew I wasn't gonna be ready for BAM. Phantom maybe, it wasn't there. And I was thinking, why I need my Wolf? But I went back and I was like, fuck it. It's like after playing a character for like a week or so, not playing it for a week and then going back, something clicks for some reason. And then just keep going. And I remember seeing, because both characters they love to dance around.
Yeah.
They love to get hard punishes, and they're not awesome off stage. Disadvantage wise.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Like it felt comfortable enough to switch.
Yeah, decent transition.
Yeah.
So we can expect to see the Joker, maybe a bit of Game Watch Byleth at Big Cheese.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of the Wolf.
I wouldn't say over Wolf. Like Wolf is definitely my easiest to kind of go in with a matchup character. Like if I'm
it's a bit unfamiliar, you know, you're very comfortable pick.
It's really like Wolf nowadays is kind of the character I go into a matchup with. Let's say I start Byleth and I get shot on. If I go in Wolf, it's kind of figure out a matchup and then go to a character that best fits the kind of play.
Yeah, good. Intel.
Yeah. So
it's also the character you played the most.
Yeah, so that's why I played
very
Wolf
comfortable.
Probably the longest out of the ones I have right now. There was Bowser and Falcon. My longest other 2.
Right.
I played Mario and Smash 4. That's because
so they're the more like casual characters.
Yeah, I still play them. I can put them in a bracket and do well, but it's not like my practice characters.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so you basically thought that Joker's just a better version of Wolf. That was the main reason for the switch.
Yeah, and my original thought was he's lighter but better, but he turns out he's heavier as well. There's I don't know why he's heavier than Wolf.
I did not know that. That does.
It's about like 2 or 3 units. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
What would the rough disparity between the characters be like in terms of like placement in the game? I guess the tier list or whatever.
Like how different they are on like the tier list wise.
Yeah.
I think Joker's like top 3, top 4. Wolf is like about top 10.
Okay.
Like Wolf's, like my thought process with Wolf is that his game plan is simple enough to the counter plays also simple.
Yeah.
But it's just you need to figure it out first. He's definitely in the top 10 era, but he's like the weakest top 10 almost.
Mm-hmm.
He's always going to be good, but he's never going to be amazing. Like top 3.
You
But
think it's
Joker
like-
can be because he's flexible. He's got everything he needs essentially.
Is Wolf sort of maybe not flexible enough, or is it the disadvantage, or is too honest?
I think if you're going to play Wolf, it has to be like a solo main. You have to dedicate your whole time
Okay.
to him. It's kind of like if you play a heavy for no reason. You have to play the heavy all the time to understand it. Like Kerrigan, for instance.
Those-
If you secondary Kerrigan, it's not going to be like a
It's
solo.
not gonna
hero.
work. Yeah.
So like Wolf is kind of like not the heavy, not the heavy of top 10s, but you need to really understand his neutral.
Yeah.
That was kind of the opposite in Smash 4, where you would just have your main, and then you'd have a grappler second.
Yeah.
You have like the DK or something.
I
Or
want to
Bowser.
grab you and I'll dare you
Oh
now.
man, I'd like to lose
Yeah.
neutral, but what if I like pivot grab you though? What would you do?
What happens?
Yeah.
Shields was like so strong.
Mr.
so
R.
strong
Allen.
that like
Yeah.
pivot grabs.
I wish I
and
played
grabs.
Smash 4. I didn't play like you guys did.
Yeah.
I had no clue. It was
It's
fucking
not too
competitive
late.
game.
Did you ever watch any like high level Smash 4? Did you follow it at all, or how much do you know about the game?
The only time I ever see Smash 4 competitive is when I look at like just compilations of Smash 4 and Brawl happen to be in it.
Yeah.
But I've never gone back because I never quite understand it. Like the hit sounds weird, or like not hit sound, but the knockback. I always go like, what the fuck is going on?
Balloon knockback.
Just dead.
Yeah.
Happens for no reason.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go to play it because it would be too confusing for me at least. Maybe if it isn't,
Just focus on the one.
I did it at Pixel actually when I went for BAM. I did it a little bit with their Pro Controller. It was different. I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to try and win. I'm not going to bullshit with Smash 4. I might play it again a little bit, but I'm not planning to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks fun though.
You know what?
Without
Yeah.
rage.
It definitely has its merits, like very unique as a game as
Yeah.
well. Like a lot of people just say, "Oh, it's the old one. It's bad. It's crap." Blah blah blah. It's like it obviously has its problems.
Yeah.
Every game will have its problems, but they also have their unique strengths and things that you can really enjoy about each game as well.
All Smash games are valid except 64.
64
Yeah.
is a fucking game.
It's
I'm not going to cap. That
Yes,
game is
yeah.
it's awful.
It's
so
bad.
it's so
Oh, man.
unwatchable. And it's
Yeah.
not like, I mean, look, it's a Nintendo 64 game from God, like 25 years ago or something. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like not. It's not.
It's just
gonna
not
be,
there.
No, there's.
But you can
there's
even just
the
like
options are
the
too few.
comparison between 64 and Melee.
Yeah.
Melee is a game like obviously Melee is a very popular one.
Yeah.
But even just seeing the difference in time and the development,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it is
it's a
so
world of
far more advanced and
Like,
everything is.
just
The
having,
game, it looks ugly, and then you get
Yeah.
into like the competitive like side of it, and because the game has true zero deaths, the game
That
becomes
is the meta.
incredibly
Yeah.
campy
Yeah.
because if you
Yeah.
get hit, you die.
Yeah.
So
Sounds fun.
You have Samus's bomb taking her double jump, and
we've already discussed
you know,
this. You don't
it's
need
just-
to.
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why it was on the really. That was all,
Yeah.
why it was on
I
the
thought you
list.
put it there because it was useless.
Yeah. No,
No.
it is not only useless; it is like
Detrimental.
it is detrimental.
In Brawl, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like put that there because it's like the worst move in the game.
I didn't
Yeah.
even put it in
Yeah.
there as
Yeah.
well because
No.
I don't know. At least you
Brawl
can
Brawl
use
bomb
it.
is like wow.
Yeah.
It's good now. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy
No.
how buff that move got in old where it's actually like really, really good music.
Yeah. Oh.
That
so-
move in ult
so
is
stupid.
so broken.
So stupid.
Because to beat it, you have to jump over it, and to jump over it, then you,
You
just
get forwarded,
And
yeah.
It's like, well, nice. The counterplay has been rewarded.
That's sick, man. You're really good. Archie. You're really good.
They should never have made Samus's forward air good.
Mm-mm.
It should have continued to be like Brawl forward air, where it like hits
For
you
sure.
once and you SDI out, and it doesn't matter.
I think that's very stupid.
No,
Nah,
I'm
It has no good moves.
that's good. That's good.
Why?
That is good.
What is
that
with
is good.
you
What?
and like Kirby
Same as
and
Zelda,
Samus?
like Zelda, Kirby. No, they should not be good.
Okay.
They should not
Yeah.
be good.
Ben
They're
just
not.
has like characters that he thinks should never be good in any Smash game at all.
No.
Really?
This guy.
Like with how
Little Mac should never be good.
no, he has to be.
I agree with Little.
He has to be unusable.
I agree with
Unusable, like not
Samus,
bad.
why Samus by
Unusable.
Kirby?
No,
Because charge shot was the best
yeah,
move in the game.
yeah,
You're very stupid.
yeah. Have you played Ultimate Samus?
Yes. Yes.
No, that's not good.
But
That's not
but
good.
why does her forward have to not link like in Brawl?
Because
Because forward air beats all of the
So-
counterplay.
so
for all
you
these
charge
moves.
shot, right?
Charge shot.
all right,
down B.
so you
I know what's going on.
no, okay. So Samus, right? She's
I'm lost in-
she's
I'm lost.
charging charge
What
shot.
beers are going to his head?
What do?
Jump.
She's charging charge shot. What do?
Just approach her.
approach her with charge shot. She shoots you. Boom, you've taken 32%.
Don't
Wrong.
get
Wrong.
hit.
What else do you do? So you've chosen the wrong move by approaching.
Dude, when you approach
just,
Little Mac and you just
you've just taken-
you just take that you just
Alright.
get hit by it. God, you're bad. Like,
take 2. What else do you do? So you've approached her. You've taken a
but your
30%.
premise is
You
just-
get grabbed after that as well, actually.
Or
into
back
the
end.
forward air.
Or back
Yeah.
end.
So that was the wrong move. What else do you do now? She's charging charge shot. What do you do?
Who's got the percent lead?
Hey?
Who's got the percent?
Oh, that doesn't matter. Does not matter whatsoever.
It does.
It
No.
Let's say
It
Samus
doesn't really
has
matter.
Alright,
Samus, she doesn't give a shit.
She has the percent lead. So what do you do? She's charging
Stage
charge
or what
shot.
character are you playing?
Stage.
They
He
all-
thinks he thinks the stage makes a difference.
He thinks it's
He makes the
that's
stage.
so-
Oh man. Sorry, what character you're
I
playing?
didn't realise this was.
Oh,
the
let's
best
say,
character in the game.
No, this does not matter. This does not matter.
I don't understand what this has
Well,
to do
I'll
with
answer the-
forward air not linked.
Alright, I'll answer the
Let's make
question
it
for
easy
you.
here.
Approaching didn't work out. Shielding, it just gets grabbed anyway. So you jump. What happens there, do you think?
And what Samus have you played against?
Hang on, Jesse. I think you know the answer. You get forwarded. Wow.
What if you jumped
And you know what is amazing about that forward air? It works. It works. And you've taken 20%, and now you're off stage.
Why does
You
that move do so much damage?
Why does it do so much
It's
damage?
actually 20%.
Why do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
spend
yeah.
five?
It's a lot.
It's
It all
too
hits.
much damage.
If it all hits a month.
It's too much
I don't
damage.
know how much.
And it all hits in ultimate. It all hits.
Hey, listen.
And so that
You know,
everyone
it's really
is
cool,
why
there's 3 different
Samus
options.
forward air should not link into itself.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short,
If only we.
once you're off stage, you're not getting off ledge, and you do die.
You know what the problem is, Ben? You play fucking King
Yeah.
No,
This
that
is
is-
your problem.
That is a problem.
So when she's
That
starting
is not
charge
the
shot
problem
and you're
because
like
it, does,
sitting
it
there,
does not matter who you are against Samus. You're dead. You're gone.
she is
You're like
unbelievable.
Siski. Like he's a random guy from
He's a
Spain.
monster.
He's like
Yeah.
number 4.
He's still good.
No, Quick is a monster. Siski, he's solid. He's like, he's okay. All right, he's okay. He's a good Samus. He's okay. You know, number 14 in the world. You know why? Charge shot.
Is he 14
And
in the
Pommet
world?
Ledge. Yes, he's number 4 in the world.
Monster.
No,
Good
no,
on
Monster's not the world.
I wouldn't put him 14th though. He doesn't.
I feel like he's
No, I watch him and I'm like, he's good. He is good, no doubt about it. He's not number 14 in the world
Yeah.
good. No.
Carried
But-
by Samus.
Samus is number 14 in the world good, that's for sure.
Well, talking about polarizing characters,
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot of strong opinions on DLC characters.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, the soccer is.
We've seen your Twitter, man.
Don't
You're
worry.
done.
We
We looked at it before.
Well, we actually discussed this on our first episode of the podcast, like DLC characters and sort of our opinions on
Mhm.
balance and
Mm.
risk reward. It's kind of an open-ended question, but what is this like? What is your overall sort of gripe? Do you think they're just overpowered? They're too simple, or they're too easy, like rewarding?
And which DLCs?
I don't know. Which ones do you have?
Yeah,
What
whatever
did you
comes
complain
smart
about?
for you.
Which ones do you?
Yeah.
Which ones do you feel like are problematic? Steve, come on.
Oh yeah, Steve, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah.
forgot about
Ah,
the
yeah.
complaining about
Him?
the last 2 months.
I don't know.
It wouldn't have occurred to me.
Steve and Kazuya.
Okay.
They're the only two really.
The only two.
Well, Min Min's bloody annoying.
Yeah,
But at least she doesn't cheat.
What about Hero?
Ah, okay.
Right,
No,
she
no,
doesn't cheat.
No, no.
No,
No,
she
she
doesn't
doesn't-
cheat from attacking you from halfway across the stage.
In comparison to
You've got
Steve,
Mithra,
she's
you can't
honest.
complain.
Yeah.
Mithra loses that matchup.
I think you need to get better than that.
Mithra loses that matchup.
Therefore, Mithra is a bad character, don't you know?
I'm just saying that she loses that matchup.
It's Steve and Kazuya. Their neutral
They're the
is
big
pretty
ones.
much impenetrable, and their combo game is also just bullshit.
Okay.
So if you camp them, they're gonna win. Particularly Steve.
Right.
Kazuya can literally kill you with one hit. Steve's a bit harder to do that with, but there's infinitely more combos and doesn't matter.
Very flexible and advantage there.
So,
Yeah.
do you think these characters are 1 and 2?
I don't think Kazuya is like a best character. I think Steve is probably top 3, top 2. But Kazuya's disadvantage just doesn't help him. Whereas
Right.
Steve doesn't really have one. He can make it up from the bottom corner,
Right.
which is
Such
dog shit.
Yeah.
It's whole shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Can he actually?
Yeah.
for sure.
He can just it stalls, but it's not stalling. It's just using his things to prop himself up. Block is another double jump as well. So it's just a bunch of stuff. And up B, you can float really high for some reason.
Yeah, you can like cancel with air dodge and it makes your magnet grab like really strong.
Yeah, and on the way up, you can like hold down at the very start and like mash A or something.
Yeah.
To go really high.
I think there's also, I could be wrong with this, but I feel like if you TNT or there's some technique that allows you to get a second minecart as well. I could be wrong with that.
I think in minecart, TNT, minecart, and jump, and then some other shit.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like total Bayo level of just like you're not edge guarding. Sorry, buddy.
You're not getting gimped. Like
Okay.
so you can't gimp Steve, and you can't really juggle him.
Yeah, like they have to screw up.
Yeah, they have to mess up their neutral and severely play their like camping game wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just a really common trend over the last 3 Smash games. Is your best character can never be gimped and has like basically no disadvantage.
Yeah.
And it's such a common trend. So in this game, it's almost certainly Steve, who just doesn't have a disadvantage and you can't gimp him. And then in Smash 4, it's Bayo, and to be honest, I kind of lean towards 06 Samus being the second best character in that game now, who is completely, you'll never gimp this character ever. She recovers from everywhere, and if you hit her, she just kickflips. She won't. She has no disadvantage there either.
Even for Steve Pikachu, being the big one, like really good recovery, strong neutral.
Yeah, I was going to say
very good.
Steve and Pikachu are top 2 in this game, I think.
And then in Brawl, Meta Knight, obviously, who, as far as disadvantages go, he can just jump away down air and he'll always recover. So it's actually a common trend from every single Smash game.
I guess that's an interesting that you say that, because Melee was kind of the last game where recovery was very punishing. You had to be very tight with it, and like Fox, best character in the
It's
game.
punishing in Brawl unless you're Meta Knight, who will always recover for free. But other characters, for sure, like you will probably get edge hold
Absolutely.
ample times in the game.
I mean, because of how the ledges work in Brawl, you will have to recover above the ledge and onto the stage. And if you don't do that, then you'll die. But if you do that, you'll get thrown off it or like whatever. Like Meta Knight's very good at this. Like he will grab the ledge.
Anyone who's switched onto edge guarding will do it. Like now, I like Phantasm onto the stage. So I'm just like, I'm gonna get down smashed by like your wolf. And I was like, I'll just take the hit. Because I have to go there unless I'm really like wanting to coin flip that I might die. But maybe you'll get off the ledge a bit early and I can like illusion to the ledge. But it's like I can die. I'd rather just take the down smash and make sure I live.
And I suppose that's kind of like why, because I thought to myself when I was playing Ultimate, I was like, why has no one ever thought about the concept of like ledge trapping before in like previous games? How come nobody ever like thought about this in like Brawl? And it's because you had to recover onto the stage a lot of the times, otherwise you would die.
You couldn't go low.
Yeah.
Where now Smash 4 and Ultimate is all about going low. That is 90% of the time you should go low, because it's better to take a chance against a 2-frame than it is getting caught in a ledge trap or a landing. Absolutely.
So back onto how these characters cheat in neutral. I want more expansion on this.
Alright, Kazuya, have you ever seen Kazuya play? Yeah. Do you know what they're doing most of the time?
I think this character is probably the worst designed character in the game, probably more so than Steve. But I want to hear you talk about it.
So, like, I don't know all the technical talk within all the different movement inputs, but I know that most of their inputs and attacking options either are invincible or do 30% or kill you.
Right.
So put them together, what have you got? Broken neutral. So are you invincible dash, invincible attack option, your death combo. Disadvantages isn't awesome, obviously, but that's the one reason Kazuya isn't awesome, like top 10 or top 5. Steve doesn't have one, Kazuya does. Even though Kazuya's heavy, it doesn't help him in the aspect where you can just continuously ledge trap, edge guard, doesn't matter. It can be dangerous to ledge trap. Here's the side B that can just stun you and kill you, but as long as you're smart about it, or quick, or jumping, you're fine. Steve can, what's it called? He go on ledge, put blocks there, just mine.
Planking.
Planking. He can plank for free essentially.
Go underneath, up smash, block blades, jump, block again, refreshes your jump.
Back for ledge. So Joker's the only character that I thought of that can really disable that with Gangan. So only one, which is why I chose Joker and Steve. It worked, thankfully, because I didn't know what I was going to do after that. So
ran out of options.
Yeah, that was it. And Steve, he doesn't have any unsafe moves, really. With Diamond, it eliminates your shield. With Gold, up to it's plus on shield, so you're screwed. You're going to get a combo no matter what.
Because it's faster than his other tools.
It's like 2 frames faster, and I think 2 frames safer. I thing at the same time, so it's just not good. I don't know exactly what, but it's just general gist of its things.
So
What a character.
Do you think Steve has any weaknesses?
I think the only weakness with Steve is if the player isn't dedicated enough. That's like the only thing. If you're dedicated to the
You're
character,
not sticking to it.
yeah. It's kind of like if you're not on Joker, if you're not playing all the time, you're not gonna be fluent.
Yeah.
But like even just compare Joker to Steve, it's not like Joker's neutral, has proper counterplay, whereas Steve, you need to call them out on doing bad things.
Right.
Whereas Joker, he's hard to hit, but he can also get juggled a bit better, a bit harder at least.
Yeah.
Steve, he's weird. I don't like him at all. Walking jab,
Very
bullshit.
funky.
Walking
up.
Have you seen his grab?
Yeah. I like where it like goes forward, then jumps over a little bit and keeps going. It's very silly.
Arguably the worst thing about Steve, like to be honest, kind of nobody cares in Smash games how unfun a character is to play against. Because the spectators don't care that you are not enjoying the matchup.
Yeah.
If
it looks fun.
they care.
Steve is very fun to watch.
Funny block man.
Fake.
It's very.
Very fake.
He's not fun to watch.
No.
I think. Well, I guess it depends on what's happening. If someone's playing super tight, like okay, I'm respecting everything, and then like nothing's happening. But a lot of people do like wow, this Steve is just minecarded.
Yeah.
That guy's at 60. Center stage, boom, he's dead. That is so funny.
Well,
that's very funny.
Interesting because I find
I love
Steve unwatchable.
Well,
No,
that's
that's
like I think I've mentioned this previously, but like
Yeah.
that's the hook to it.
Mhm.
Is that oh man, he up tilted someone.
Yeah.
Are they gonna
What's
die?
gonna happen? Yeah, exactly right.
And then that's like where the spectator fun comes from.
Yeah.
Same with like
That's the
Lucario
bad.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She upbeats you like, oh, what if they're gonna die here?
Yeah.
Zero.
Right. It is a
Someone says
different
that, I'm
story.
Like, that's just it.
Yeah.
Scamming shouldn't be allowed.
You just gotta prepare yourself mentally. Like I will die here, and if I don't, then that's nice.
When a commentator sees a Kazuya get a grab or a Steve get a grab, and they go, oh,
But yeah, what's
I'm
gonna happen
like,
here?
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you need
Yeah.
evidence for.
Yeah.
If they know you can die, it's it.
Yeah.
Smash 4 commentators used to get a lot of shit before like Bayonetta and stuff because someone would get hit and they'll be like, are they dead?
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Is he dead? Is he dead?
That was like
Yeah.
a common thing.
Yeah, that was the
and
thing.
Then
Is he dead?
and then they added a bunch of
Yeah.
characters that could actually like they hit you and then you die and then
Yeah,
there was
so
like and
he
now
is
that's
dead.
valid.
He is dead.
There was a
actually.
commentator in Queensland who was really bad at that. I can't remember who it was. There's someone in Queensland who was particularly bad at that, going like, oh, he's dead here, but they were never dead. I can't remember who it was.
Almost sounds like a Scrail kind of.
Yeah. Some of the old Brawl videos on Scrail's YouTube channel, like 10 years old and shit. Pretty
Yeah.
cool actually watching some of them.
Did you play Brawl?
Yeah.
See a Marth mate?
I thought he was Luigi, pretty sure.
Luigi.
Yeah. I just got a weird flashback of being scared of playing against it, kind of. Because like in Brawl, jab like up B is like very threatening. I think Luigi's up B in that game is like the strongest in any Smash game. I think it's very scary.
Smash 4,
Yeah. Sorry, in Brawl.
probably.
Yeah, it's really good. So the overall metagame evolved. How do you feel about it at the moment?
Oh man, I feel like the metagame it's looking to come around a little bit. Like Pyramithra, I like the saving grace of the Fighter Pass 2 in terms of neutral, like broken neutral but not properly broken. It's
The thing we always say is like it's broken, but you have to play.
yeah,
Like you have to kind of.
you have to actually understand the game
Your
properly.
tools are better, but there's always going to be a character with better. Like
Yeah.
someone has to be the best.
Yeah.
But as long as you have to actually apply like good Smash fundamentals, then you don't really mind that much.
Yeah, it's one of the few DLCs that don't require you to stay in the training mode like area just to get better.
Mhm.
If you play the game with them enough, you understand the character and counterplay and whatnot. Steve and Kaz did the opposite. You spend most of your time in training, just practicing combos.
Right.
It's essentially why I don't like it, just because it takes far less. I wouldn't say skill, but it takes less game like fundamental understanding to succeed. Like Nagima Kenny, he got the Smash Box to play Kazuya.
Did he?
Yeah. So and with that, he holds down 2 buttons and press another 2, and it's electric. Boom, 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 over and over and over again.
Maybe ban the Smash Box, to be honest. I think you agree with that, don't you? You wanted to ban it.
It shouldn't be
It's
like
a sketchy one.
no,
Yeah.
this
No.
should not be in.
I don't think it should get banned.
No,
Like,
it should be banned.
No, wait. So there's Shadru. Shadru, he is unable, like his hand, I don't know what's up with his hands, but he can't really use a normal controller. if you're unable to use a normal controller, I think Smashbox is allowed just because it's the only form you can play on. But if you're converting to Smashbox because it's piss easy to play a character, then it shouldn't be allowed.
I still don't agree. I don't even know how to I mean, I guess like when you compare it to like the Paralympics, and I get that it's like a accessibility for
Paralympics.
I was going to say, so the thing is, right, if you
Smashbox
have no legs,
you can't run.
If you can't run, you can't sprint. You can't be a sprinter. You can't.
That's how it is.
You
I'm
can't
sorry.
You can't run against Usain Bolt, and if you do, you're going to lose. That's just the reality of it. So if your hands,
many perfectly able-bodied people
well,
will still
yeah,
not be able to do
yeah.
that.
So if you can't, like, if your hands are not equipped to deal with any of the controls that are set up for Smash, like the GameCube or Pro Controller or Wiimote, Nunchuck, whatever people use, you got to find a different game. Go play Tetris or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just like that's unlucky. That's
There very much is that mentality of like, I don't want to deal with the bad hand that I've been dealt with.
Yeah.
You know, I should be able to compete equally.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if the fact that it makes like certain tech and stuff easier. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be like, I don't care. But there's like a third-party controller. But yeah,
There's a player in America, Sean, a Falcon. He went to the Smashbox, plays Falcon on it. There's like pluses and negatives to it, obviously, but it's generally just a different feel. But with Kazuya, it just makes it infinitely easier to do everything. So with Kazuya specifically, I just think it's broken. I'll add it. But with anyone other than that, like character-wise, I think it's okay.
Would you consider banning it specifically just for Kazuya?
Yeah. Well, not for Kazuya specifically, but for people that only want to play box with Kazuya that don't have a problem physically with the hands, like Shadri can.
How would you prove that?
Can you do a push-up?
Give you 20.
That's
now.
it. If you can do a push-up, you're fine, I think.
I don't know
I
if
think
this
most
was...
Smash players can't do a push-up.
That's like a half joke. But if you can use your hands properly for anything, then you can use a normal controller. But Shadri, I don't know what his hands are. Like
has like a wrist problem.
Okay. Well, like he can't really use a normal controller.
So I don't know if this was already brought up, and it has actually already been looked into. Is currently being looked into with Negama in Queensland. He's using the box as Kazuya. So I imagine this is where the conversation kind of came from. And electric god fist wind or whatever it's called.
Eglyph.
There we
for
go.
short. It's like, quarter, like half circle forward A or whatever, and you have to like press A in the middle of
like 2 frames.
Yeah, 2 frames. It's pretty tight.
The input on normal controller is forward, down, forward, diagonal, downwards, and then A.
Yeah. So he knows better than me.
Yeah, so because I practiced and to see how hard it would be. It's not very difficult.
Yeah.
On normal
It's
controller.
not crazy difficult, but it's still something you need to get used to.
Yeah.
But you have to like use the stick, roll it A at the right time. Where on the box you can like hold down and forward basically and just like mash A and it'll work.
Yeah.
Just because how the controller is designed, it's different from a GameCube controller.
I just think
it's not how the game is designed.
There's 2 buttons. Like boom, boom,
2 buttons. Boom, 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 boom,
You know
boom, boom.
what players, you do this choice to prove a point. You just learn to play Kazuya with like Smashbox.
Yeah.
You win a tournament and then you never do it again.
Yeah.
That's the point.
So this is already. I know Blurry is currently looking into it. Like, I don't want to burn the controller, but I think it's kind of a specific modification to the controls on the controller. So it's like,
well, that's the thing, because the biggest problem with the Smashbox, sorry to interrupt, is that you can do inputs that you cannot do on a GameCube controller.
Yes,
or
and that is
Pro
where the
controller.
problem lies.
And that's where
it's
the
physically
problem is.
impossible to do because you can hold like left and right at the same time on the controller to do something.
That's
where you
should
shouldn't
dash
be able
dance.
to.
I gotta say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's even the I don't know what it's called, but with Kazuya you can do the inevitable dash forward.
Yeah, by like mashing the buttons.
And you can just and just keep doing it really easily. Where it should be a very difficult like quarter circle, quarter circle, quarter circle, quarter circle.
I think in Madden you saw the problem as well. I'm not
perfect bit up tilts and stuff like that.
Well, it's like in Melee. So I'm not don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure like the DI was really good for like DI very accurately, and like things like the invincible dash off the ledge and stuff like that. Like certain inputs were like very, very.
Yeah.
I think overall neutral was like harder to play because it's a bit of ungamey or whatever.
Yeah.
But like your very precise inputs were like pretty epic.
Yeah, because the inputs are digital, where the game is analog.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't go into in depth about the exact differences there specifically, but I do know like it's like a keyboard. Like instead of the stick going slightly left or whatever, you press left. That is a 100%
Yes.
full left input every time.
Yeah, your dead zone is no longer exists.
Yeah, it's a perfect input every time. Yeah, so there are differences made.
That's what I need.
time.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. How often do you think you misinput in a game of Smash? Just on average, a wild guess.
30 times.
Yesterday, like 100%.
It's actually,
time.
dude,
It really depends. Sometimes it's really good, and then a whole game will be like, wow,
Yeah.
I cannot play this
Pretty sure
game
my
right now.
entire Smash 4 career, I don't know how I was winning tournaments, man. I'm pretty sure I was like,
Yeah.
didn't mean to do that. Oh, what's that move?
Yeah. I remember my first tournament. It looked like I was smurfing on Umbrella in this tournament. He went to like Z grab, Z ledge or whatever, and like me like greedy as fuck, not very good. I'm like, I'm gonna run off just near him. Like he's at 40, he'll die. It's cool, And I go for the knee and I miss inputs, so down airs instead. And he pulls in underneath me, like swings in, and I just run off. Dunk him like at 40, and I look like the best player in the world. Like, you are shit. You have just done that. I have pulled the fuck out of you. And I'm like, everyone's like, holy crap! Like, crowd behind me. He's so good. This guy, first tournament, he's so good. And I'm like, I didn't mean to do that at all. Yeah, to the crowd. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
I've taken a lot of stocks with forward smash, and I've been like. People are like, wow, that was such a good forward smash, or like whatever, and it's like, oh man, did not mean to do
that, yeah.
The problem is, mine never worked out for me, because I would like do a dash attack as Diddy in Smash 4, and I'm like, shit.
You're done.
Not this move.
Not anything but this one. I could never get like consistently Smash side being the side B either. I'd hammer it, and he'd just be like, tiny little flip, and I'd just get hit, and I'd be like, I tell you what, hey, if I could play this game, if I could do my inputs, you'd be so
You'd be done.
I'd be the best player in this country, not even close.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about sort of if you have any sort of practice regime, or if it's just a matter of playing a shit ton for you.
It's just playing a lot.
Yeah. You mentioned like going to training mode for like Kazuya. Do you use with other characters, or is it just you just only play, or do you ever touch training mode really?
Only if it's like a really annoying kind of like specific thing. Like with Joker, you can do footstool down gun out of shield and whatnot. So I practice that a little bit, but only really like I can't do it on like a moving character or whatnot in practice mode. But it's hard. But I just practice getting the inputs. It used to be really difficult. I've got it now. I did it a couple of times last night against DFS. It was good. But I only do it in that respect, or if it's like a tight specific combo with Wolf, let's say. A lot of different annoying movements just on platforms push it, but I don't play in there only. If I am gonna play, it's either very rarely on CPU or it's on Wi-Fi. I just play the game and maybe watch a VOD. Just like
that's
working into friendlies and that kind of thing.
Like I watch a VOD, like half watch it. I'm playing on Wi-Fi and I like listen over. I look down every once in a while.
That's interesting.
I don't study VODs unless I think I need to.
Okay.
Like against like Jigsaw Damage, that would be the two.
Right.
And maybe you can shoot if you ever come back. But that's like, but they were. I was never like a VOD nerd until I realized I needed to.
Yeah,
that's actually really interesting.
And maybe like American players in the same matchup.
Yeah.
Like Charlie the King and whatnot, Larry Lurd, a bunch of those things. Now Leia with Joker. I watch that all the time to see how the fuck did they do that.
Yeah, I think that's gotten better in that respect, because I don't know if you guys ever felt this, but in like Brawl Smash 4, it wasn't like very useful to watch, like it wasn't very useful for like Diddy players in Australia to watch Zero. Because the gulf was just so big that it's just like, this is not really.
It's almost not
like a good regional Diddy in America is like a bit better than I am, as opposed to like the best player in the world, because it's just
like Zenodo or something.
Yeah. I mean, Zenodo was very good for a while, but kind of like that. And you'd be like, I can sort of like you're not just sort of skill gapping me. I can see sort of what the difference is. Whereas Zero, you're like, he hit him. I guess I don't know why he hit him.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, especially like I think we're a bit closer these days in terms of level,
which is really good.
Definitely,
But in Smash 4, I just said just watch like a top level Australian and see what they're doing, because they're very much playing the same game.
They're playing the same metagame as well.
Yeah, they're playing the same metagame. They're playing the same game basically. Where in Smash, even in Ultimate, to be fair, like you watch really top level, someone hits their shield, they just jump away, they dash away. where like you just don't see that even in a high level American play, let alone Australian play. Like they touch my shield, I'm gonna up you, I'm gonna up smash, I'm gonna hit you for being negative on my shield. You know, they're gonna go for it, and it's a lot more RNG than you think it is, just because you don't have like in previous games you have like they are this far away from me, my forward air's not gonna reach. Where in this, like they're directly next to me, I should be able to grab them, but it just doesn't work. You know, they're a lot less interactive. You can kind of glean a lot more from local play rather than international play, because they're just very much on a different level of how they're approaching the game.
I know that you also got. Sorry, Benny, you going to say something? Okay. I noticed you also got coaching from Maister.
Yes, that was a while ago. Coaching from Maister and one also from Charlie the King.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So I went to Maister just because I don't really know why. I guess I just watched his streams. I was like, yeah, why not? And then Charlie was because of specifically Wolf.
Yeah.
I went to Charlie because of the Spamage ICs matchup. I was like, I need to know what I can do.
Okay.
I didn't follow through with the matchup. I was like, nah, that's bullshit. But I
Oh, you didn't want to play Wolf vs ISIS?
No, I did that to see what I could do. In the end, I was doing everything right. It just
Felt too hard.
like I think
didn't work
Spamage
out.
was too good at the matchup, or I just wasn't quite clicking with it. So then that's where Brawl came through. But Meister, it was interesting because I don't think I learned a lot from the lessons. It was more so that I knew the tips that they were giving me. I just need to hear it from someone else.
It was reinforced.
Reaffirm.
Yeah, so like everything that I thought I was doing wrong, I was correct on. I just needed a professional to tell me, so I knew I was right. So I'm not just kind of like gaslighting myself.
Okay.
Per se.
So is it something you would recommend for lower level?
Like yes and no. If you think if you think you need it to really push past a certain barrier, then maybe but don't just empty your bank account into someone because you like them. Do it because you think it's necessary.
Yeah.
For character specificity, or you think you play similar, it's like the same kind of neutral to them. Only if you think you're going to gain something from it, apart from just wanting to talk to them, because that's just not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
That's where Maister was good, because I just liked the way he played. I was like, I want to play a bit more patient.
Right.
Charlie was Wolf, and I just like hitting people. Was my fair. So I was like, they both fit well together.
Yeah.
And I did learn something from them, but it was there was a little bit some things here and there that I didn't quite think about that they showed me, and then there was things that I knew completely, and they just kind of reinforced it. I was like, okay, that's good.
Right.
So it was a big help. I got the Maister lesson, and the next FNS I went to, I won. So it was like cool beans.
Right.
It worked.
Yeah.
But that could have been a fluke. I don't know, but it was. They did help.
Were the Meister lessons like translating specifically about the Game Watch?
No, that was
or
way
was
before
it just
Game Watch.
What before the Game Watch?
That was, I think, the VOD I actually showed Meister was me versus Chris.
Okay.
Game
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, it was a game 5 close one. I was just thinking, because back then I was still spamming side B.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I know it's good.
Addictive.
Like it still works.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? But it was the Palu. Just I was like, oh, God, what do I do? I don't like this at all. And he was just I forget what he said nowadays, but it was along the lines of stop using forward air and grab, and that helped a lot. And Charlie was I forget what Charlie said. A lot of the time he was just said good job, but she just got there in time. She just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always sort of wondered about the validity of coaching. I think it can be really good, but I think so few people can do it well.
Yeah.
And also, it's not just on the teacher either. But you have to be like the right person to be coachable as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not every player is.
Some people are not willing to learn. Like even if they think they are, but when it really comes down to like taking feedback, a lot of people get defensive.
Exactly.
A lot of people. It's very complex.
There's a lot of layers to it, because some people they might require a certain type of teacher, which might not be you or whoever it is. So they might need someone else they might learn or get better in a different way. But I see like pretty much every pro, like American, kind of sells lessons now, which I think is a bit of a scam.
I think there's a lot of charlatans out there.
Yeah, and I don't know if they probably know that they're not really providing value for money there. I don't know. Maybe they think they're being really useful, but I think a lot of them, it's kind of like getting Australian players like VOD Review. like we were talking about this yesterday. I think there's like 2 places in the country I would trust to like VOD review, like a set of mine in like Alt or something.
Yeah.
Which would be probably Extra and DD.
Yeah.
And Strix.
Yeah.
I would like Strix was the other one actually. It was Extra and Strix.
Like maybe Ghost as well.
Maybe Ghost. Yeah.
There's a very common misconception of like, oh, they're good at the game, so they can teach the game. Like, it is a completely different skill set.
They can probably tell you like something.
Yeah.
But you know, realistically, like probably nothing you couldn't have figured out on your own. And you know, there are very few players who can tell like the intricacies of how to like adjust the entire way you're playing or playing a matchup in order to like achieve like better results. I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd be the best coach right now.
Yeah.
But I can spot certain like inaccuracies and whatnot and wrong gameplay that they're introducing to like playing in neutral. But I'm not 100% certain in my own kind of dissection of what they're doing wrong. Well, I can spot it out, but I can't tell them 100% how to fix it or what to do better.
Your knowledge of Smash is clearly very high. You know a lot of specific things. So that's always really useful.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know like an intricacy or why something's worked, then you can't explain to them.
Yeah.
I also really like the use of the word inaccuracy. It's kind of like a chess-like phrase.
I play chess a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun.
Yeah. It's usually like a phrase used in like chess analysis, where you can have like outright blunders or like inaccuracies.
Yeah.
It's a phrase where we're playing Brawl. I use it quite a lot as well. I was like, like the way you play that edge guard is like inaccurate. Like, because when you have this same situation that happens all the time, it becomes a flowchart. There's a right and there's a wrong way to play them. So I think that's an interesting way of like thinking about your gameplay as well. I would recommend everyone watching their own VODs to kind of, I don't know, it's just a word, but getting that into your vocabulary and thinking of it like that, like I should play that system differently. I should play that situation differently, and knowing specific, like not just like that was a mistake. That I shouldn't have done that, but like knowing I was supposed to follow like this flowchart here. You can't just know what the mistake was. You have to know what you should have done as well. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying sometimes. Like I know when I do something that's wrong, I know that it's not always wrong. Yeah. I just know there it's like, okay, it's not a bad thing to do, but this would have been far more useful. Yeah. It's like if I want someone, I'm just spamming a laggy button. I'm like, there it's not good. Yeah. But if I'm, let's say, a roll's distance away and they're at kill percent, it's perfect. Yeah. But there's certain situations where a move is good, but it's not good in a situation. Yeah. Like, even if it's like 100% safe, you're not going to get punished. It's just not going to do anything. Yeah.
It even goes the other way around as well, where like a lot of people say they might try and edge guard a character, and then they get nicked at 10 or whatever, and they die instead of the edge guards working. Like, oh well, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. That worked wrong. It's like, no. That was the right idea. Yes, right. You just did it wrong.
You were just bad in that situation.
It should have gone there.
Totally don't actually mention that. Whereas like you can play accurately and it can
not work out.
Right?
Yeah. They get the move out of frame faster than you.
Right. Like you can choose the right option. He's like, I was just like, that was the right option. I just got there a little bit too slow. I was a bit too slow to react to that. It's like, not even you're bad, right? You chose the right option, that's good. Yeah. But it's like, you have to recognize it a bit quicker to get there and do it.
So people can easily mistake something working and thinking that was the right thing to do, and something not working and thinking that was the wrong thing to do. Like, that was not the case at all.
It's like getting a falcon punch. It's like, no, it shouldn't work.
Oh, I killed it 30 and it was sick. It's like, okay, that's cool,
lucky. But
good one. Are you going to get it done 100% of the time or 5% of the time? You know?
Yeah. I really like that way. This vocabulary comes up when we're playing Brawl a lot, where we'll jump at each other and I'll get hit and I'll be like, I think I was right.
We both did the right thing.
I think my option was correct. I was just like a bit fraction. Like you play a Ditto, you play the Wolf Ditto, right? And then someone gets back and someone else doesn't, and you're like,
we both did the same thing there. You got lucky basically.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I guess like luck doesn't really.
Not quite, but you know.
I don't think of luck in Smash outside of like Game Watch 9 or something like that. Yeah. But there's like. I consider it fortunate and unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, we even say that like it's not. We get edge guarders, and they're like unlucky. Like it's like no one did anything specifically wrong there. It just didn't work out.
Like in smash all round, I guess I lost.
That's unlucky.
Or like if I'm edge hogging you and you up B, like I don't get knocked off the ledge by like one frame.
One frame.
One more frame. I didn't calculate my one frame of invincibility.
Yeah.
But you're just like, oh, I guess I didn't knock you off. Like,
I guess okay.
It's just unlucky.
Yeah, nice man.
Yeah, it's good.
You're sick.
A little bit of salt there.
Yeah, Ben was not happy. Yesterday was not happy. Sometimes he leaves like, okay, so for clarity here, he leaves our Brawl, we're playing Brawl a bunch.
Yeah.
He leaves Brawl like a couple of days ago when he comes over to play. And he says this, he's like, I'll get there. Which, if you're reading between the lines, he's saying, man, I got shit on.
Yeah.
I'll get there, and I'm gonna get you though. Like, well played, but I'll get you.
Yeah.
He leaves yesterday, and he's like, "You're fucking dog shit." If my C-stick work, oh my god, you are so shit. And then he gets on Discord, he starts being like, "Man, you are actually so bad." Oh my god, if my C-stick work, like, you're a joke.
Spamming laser from the other side. It's like, wow, that's
Oh,
really
like-
impressive, man. That's really cool.
So yeah, I Discord and I was like, "Oh man, like I'm kind of." We played Brawl for like 3 hours. I'm kind of drained. Like I had to think a lot. Like, well played, man. And he's like, yeah, really hard. Spending laser from the other side of the stage. Ooh, illusion. And it was like, oh man. Trying to get a man being a good sport. And then it's just absolute flame.
Not having it. Not having it.
Yeah. No, Plankton over his pit as well. That was good.
Actually unbeatable.
Yeah, it is.
But-
It is unbeatable.
That's why the ledge grab limit exists.
Yeah.
What was the ledge grab limit? Do you remember? I think it was
35.
like 30.
35.
34.
Oh, was it 47? I think.
Is that per game or per ledge?
Per game, if it went to time.
Oh,
Oh, true. I didn't lose
Yeah.
for beach. That's
Yeah.
right. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't be to time. No, it should be if you've exceeded it
Yeah.
at all. You're
Probably,
done. You're a loser.
I'd probably increase it a little bit for that because
Like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but it should. Yeah, I agree. If you win, it shouldn't matter. If you've done 80 ledge grabs and you've won, I don't give a shit.
Wow. Yeah. Good job.
They're probably throwing
Really.
themselves off stage to try and get you in the
Yeah.
final or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Well, actually, maybe we'll do an episode on this on talking about sort of a Brawl rule set and what we sort of think.
Fixing Brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do entire fixing Brawl.
Yeah. Well, even in the American Discord that I've been in, they're like, they have
Yes.
Yoshi's Island Brawl. They have like Pokemon Stadium 1 Unfrozen. I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
Well, obviously,
You guys are like wanting to lose.
Yeah.
Like that's you know,
I
and
mean-
like and even like, oh, do you have the Gecko codes for like the C-stick fastball? I'm like, we don't think you should be using that. That's not good. Like it's just objectively better.
It's
Like it's
objectively
good. Like
better.
yeah, but it's not. You know, change it. Like Jesus Christ.
It's not original.
Do you want
Brawl.
people to play this game? Do you
That's
want people
like
to play
you're
this
actually,
game?
You're actually
Like-
just like
Yeah.
shooting yourself in the
It
foot.
was okay for 2008. It's not okay for 2022. Like, if you have a good stage list and all these games after it, you need to be able to compete with that. Otherwise,
You-
people say, "I'm not going to touch
Yeah, I
this."
agree.
You want to make
Yeah.
your game look good, and
Yeah.
Brawl has its problems.
Yeah.
And you fix those problems,
It's
and
fine.
then you have a good game.
Yeah,
Like expand your mind, figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, we're at a point now where it's like it's so accessible as well to like modify stuff, and
So easy.
all of your like
Yeah.
you have a really you're not going to get a scene of like Brawl purists. They've all moved on or retired or they're playing a different game.
Mhm.
So all your Brawl purists like they don't care. You need to get like players who have a bit of an interest in going back over a game, and
Yeah.
these players don't care if C-stick like doesn't fast for me anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll be happy about that.
yeah.
You know, they're not the people you have to appeal to.
It's
People
like,
who
oh
go,
man,
yeah.
I hated that playing
Yeah.
this game, but so it's good to not have to deal with that.
People in your
you know?
American Brawl Discord are not the people you need to appeal to.
No.
You need to appeal to people who are not in there yet.
Well, that's what I've been
Yeah.
saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, like the Australian scene, like it is completely different from
Yeah.
your American majors
Right.
and stuff like that. Like you are not the people I need to appeal to
Right, exactly.
when
Sure.
I am asking for these codes because like, oh, we don't recommend that. Blah blah. Blah. It's like you are not who I care
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
I don't care about you. You know,
And you were a bit like hesitant when because I suggested like a couple of these codes. You were like, I don't.
you're
really
the
wanna-
fast fall out of
Yeah. And I was like, no, trust this. Man.
yeah,
You can do everything you can normally do.
yeah,
It's like it gives you more like versatility in your options.
Yeah.
It's not changing anything. It's just
Yeah.
like I can press C-stick and I can not fast forward if I don't want to.
yeah,
And I can fast forward if I want to.
Yeah.
I'm just more flexible. It's good.
and they're all
Yeah.
universal options
Yes.
as well. It's not like, oh, my character can now
Yeah.
do 40% when I forward smash you, or, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a very
I mean,
ridiculous example to
yeah.
give. But
It's not like you've
It's
buffed
not-
We
Zelda
don't
into
rebalance
its
some
viability.
characters.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
there are,
Yeah.
you know, there's like Project Plus and stuff and balance ball with that. So it's just there are options.
Trying to make every character good.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want, yeah, there are options for that.
Mm.
But like sort of reviving the game is like that's not what we're going for.
No.
Now, can someone remind me when Big Cheese is on?
October 29th or 30th, or
Okay.
2/30th rather.
28th, 30th, I think.
28th or
I
30th?
believe
Yeah.
so.
Do you know if you're
I
going
think
to
it's
be
3 days.
going to that yet?
I'm not entirely sure. Probably in the next week or and a half. I should know.
Mhm.
Okay,
But it's looking likely.
that would be good.
It would be good.
Do you know if we're getting a decent like Queensland crew over there, or?
I'm pretty sure Jigs is going. I think Dags is 2. I think a decent amount are going.
That's pretty good. Like most of the top 5.
I'm not sure. I don't think
Maybe.
Spamage is in it.
No Spamage. Maybe Sad Hour or something.
Hopefully, I think I did see Sad Hour Rego, so that's good.
Right. Okay.
No, Sad Hour's not going anymore. Work said no.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right. Never mind.
I saw that on. He tweeted it.
Really?
like-
Oh, okay.
Work was
I
like-
thought you were memeing.
No, no, no.
No,
Work
okay.
said no. Work said no.
Wow. He's got to quit that job.
So, what are your, provided you do go in Queen, like you have assemble a decent Queensland crew, what are the expectations looking like for you?
I
Do you think you
haven't
can win
seen. I think I could. I haven't seen Jay Dizzle Rego yet. Do you think he's gone?
Most likely, if I had to guess, yeah. I don't know if he's missed a major since.
I've got no
I
idea.
think he's been to like every
Yeah.
major.
Yeah, there's been
since-
two.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think top 3. Me and Jix could win. Out of Queensland, I think me and Jix are most likely.
Mhm.
We're
Definitely
probably
a level above the rest. At the moment.
Yeah, as of right now, at least. Yeah, like
Yeah,
Dagger's
it's still
unlucky
better-
because he's
better
still
than
in
a
school.
month away, right?
Like Dagger being in school, I forget about that all the time.
Mm.
Dagger being in school and playing Smash, just like I just forget he's in school. He has other shit on his plate.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't in school, he'd be with us. I think at least closer. His mentality isn't there, but that could also just be he's just stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Jigs right now for Queensland, I think we could beat all of Australia collectively.
Yeah.
But I wonder. I think I could just by general matchup knowledge or like diversity with my characters. Jix just kind of shits on people once they get nervous. So I think if anyone just kind of crumbles a little bit, Jix just runs over.
Yeah. Very confident, very
Yeah.
aggressive. just
Very
like,
boom, boom,
I'm-
boom.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
attack
you
spot,
out,
dodge attack,
bowling
boom,
over
you're
you.
in there.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit like I wouldn't say slower, but I like to kind of suss out my
Bit
Right,
more
right.
methodical almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of. I think me and Jackson could both take Big Cheese if we both go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But then there's still Strix, DD, Ghost,
Yeah,
everyone
but it's that
else.
thing. It's
strong
like you're not
contenders.
going to say that you're just going to win it. I mean, feel free to say it if
No.
you want. That's good content.
No,
But it's like
yeah.
if I play like really well, maybe a few things fall my way, I can see myself like winning that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it also depends on our bracket lineup.
Yeah.
Like if I get set up into Ghost, it's like if I beat him, I win. If I don't, I don't.
Mhm.
Kind of thing. No, I'm not gonna say like I will definitely beat Strix and DD.
Yeah.
But I've beaten Strix before, and I felt like I was a bit like not lazy. I definitely wasn't lazy, but I was nowhere near as like confident.
Mhm.
I was playing really good. I look back, I was playing awesome, but I didn't feel like it in the moment. So if I feel as confident as I should be and playing like that, I think I'll be even better.
Yeah.
DD, I'm nervous against because he played I don't know Warrior.
Very strong
Like
player.
we've had Nick in this state, NICC, Nick, the Warrior
Mhm.
player.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
he hasn't been in ages,
I-
and DD's just a level above.
I think like
Fire.
low key, irrespective of like results or whatever, I think DD is the best like player at Smash that Australia has ever seen. I think just like in terms of the brain for it,
You might
playing it. Like I think like Extra is up there.
Definitely make an argument for it.
Like Extra and Ghost Streaks are all very good at kind of like breaking down the game. They have a very solid fundamental understanding. Where DD, I think, is just like totally just like pick up the controller. He is the best player in the room, kind of play. Eye test, I guess.
Yeah.
Like yeah, but Big Cheese is also an interesting one because I was thinking of going myself and kind of really pushing to. I'm a little rusty at the moment, but I think I could get there.
Yeah, crack.
I think well.
Might have to swap the
Let's
balls.
ask Taito about
Swap
that
the
first.
swap the ball sessions for alt sessions.
But the Big Cheese, because especially after seeing you beating the pre-weekly for Phantom,
Yeah.
over Strix, over, I forgot now their opponents.
Extra Kanaji in heaven.
Yeah, so like, they're all top 4 contenders for majors right now, and you've beat all of them in one bracket.
Yeah.
Jix playing well, they haven't, I think they've only, like, they got 13th at BAM or something like that, but like, with the right bracket, and particularly the right mentality, because that's always been a big Jix problem,
Yeah.
mentality, for sure could win
Yeah,
a
definitely.
major. And it was the first time in history, and it kind of interested me. I'm like, you know what, at Big Cheese, if I got into gear, tooting my own horn a little bit, but if I got into gear, really put my mind to it for the next, this was a couple months ago, for the next like 4 or 5 months,
Yeah.
I think for the first time ever, maybe the only time ever, you could really see like all top 3 Queensland
Yeah, I was gonna say,
at
yeah.
a major. Like,
Mm.
I think that was a super, very possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you, Jackson, definitely could beat anyone, in my opinion, at
Yeah.
this point in time in Australia. And if I put in the time, I think I also could. I'm there, just not, like, mechanically there. I'm not mechanically there with the character right now. Even recently going to a local, I went.
Which character?
That's, yeah, so like, at the moment, of the mind offended player, I would play K-Rool, which is kind of shooting myself in the foot there.
Maybe that character's broken.
Maybe it might be a
What
little
about,
bit.
what about a good character?
I think,
I like
okay,
How about this?
if
A playable character.
Yeah.
if I really put my mind to it and was like, okay, I'm just gonna learn this character, gonna stick through, because my big thing has always been like, there's that technical thing that has characters to do. Nah, not doing that. I'm not touching that. I dropped Falcon when Nieces played because he did the foxtrotting, and I'm like, I'm not foxtrotting. I'm not learning that. So I played Ike instead, and then Cloud.
He does
Like,
this crazy advanced technique where he spot dodges. It's so wild.
Even just basic stuff. I'm like, nah,
You know what was
I
funny?
can't do that.
I saw Fatalities start doing the fox training thing in Smash 4. I'm like, man, get me onto that character.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do that. That looks sick.
I can kind of relate. When I first started playing Brawl, people were shielding, and I thought to myself, I don't want to do that.
So those characters, like, but if I could really be bothered to get it down and learn it, Snake, I think would be my character. Like, just like, because I really like boxing. He has very good boxing.
True.
My weakness of him is I'm always like, I'm gonna dash attack you, I'm gonna down air you, I'm gonna forward tilt one you or whatever. Whereas like I should just know when to grenade, set up, blah blah blah. But that entire like half of the character, I can't be bothered like learning to get good at.
If,
But that's a lot of characters.
if either of you top 8 big cheese, I'll buy you dinner. I'll give you $100.
What dinner do you want then? Because that's gonna happen.
Well, that's a challenge I've issued.
Yeah.
And it applies to both of you who both do it as well.
Yeah. Well, I'd appreciate if Taisha would let me enter first, and then I could.
That's not my problem.
Then I could.
That's not my
That
problem.
would be nice.
Figure it out.
Taisha, please. Or forget about it a couple months ago.
Touch actually, don't let him, because I don't want to
Go
$200. So.
There's no shot. No, that's not happening.
Really
That's not happening. No, not happening.
It's on you then.
Yeah, it's on him. Yeah,
I'll do it,
for sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see some big Queensland representation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be very good.
Yeah. And so would you guys like play offline together, or is that not really a possibility? If you were practicing for a major.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, you're in Logan or around there area, so we are pretty far away.
Maybe when I was there.
Yeah.
He was there.
He was there. He was
when
there.
He was 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I needed him. He was like
So
14.
we've only really had like one session
One
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
get
pretty
on.
far away.
If
Gotta
you-
get
if
it
you
on.
honestly
It was a while
seriously
ago
want
as
to
well.
like, you gotta.
Like what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah,
at this
probably.
point now.
How often do you play Smash?
Like on a weekly basis or just every day? Like
Just
I,
general.
Every
like
day.
I don't think to play every day, but it just happens.
Mhm.
I just, there's nothing to do. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
I might watch a random video. It's like non-Smash related. I'm like playing Smash at the same time, listening to it. It just happens.
Mhm.
I play. Well, nowadays, when I play, I just play the characters that use a bracket. Just because I don't want to get. I don't veer off course, especially because Joker's in here. I can't really get off of Joker, otherwise it falls apart.
Yeah.
So when I play Smash, I
imagine.
do kind of stay on Joker and like 2 other characters, but that's it. I don't go past 3. If I'm
Yeah.
trying to play
I
for
like that.
like tournament,
Yeah.
if I play with 4, it's like I'm kind of setting myself up to only get to like 2/3 capacity for each character in total. So I'm not going to be properly there.
Yeah,
Like
two
against Jackson,
characters
I
is
need to
good.
be in there versus Jackson. I can't play all 4, like 2 maybe, but that's it. Weekly, I don't know, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I think I play more. I don't know. I don't keep track of time. But it just happens to fly by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I never really try to play about an hour and a half, 2 hours, if anything. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not too shocked.
Okay.
I'm not annoyed about it.
Yeah. You're not like have this tight schedule, but like roughly you reckon like 1 or 2 hours a day.
Yeah, I say confidently 1 or 2 hours,
Okay.
1.5 closer.
Do you find yourself thinking about Smash a lot as well? Like even when you're not playing, you're just kind of maybe thinking about a set you played or a scenario or either now or previously.
Let me give you. I'll ask you a question. So you've just gone to FNS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the Grands
Yeah.
and you've lost. Spermage has fucked you.
Yeah.
Played Ice Cream has fucked
Double
you.
three
You're
as well.
dog shit.
Yeah.
You're lying in bed. It's midnight.
Oh man. Every time after I lost the home, I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I want to go to sleep, but I can't because I think
Yeah.
about that one thing that I missed.
Yeah.
Replaying
Yeah.
what happened. In
I'm
what
thinking-
could I have
yeah.
done there instead? Yeah.
Thinking of that one punish, I was like, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lost me the game.
Yeah.
Like forward to what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
For me, that's the whole
That
week,
is
and
such a
Ben,
big-
Ben agreed with
yeah.
this as well, that you're playing the matchup actually until you get the chance to play them again.
Yeah.
You're just like sitting there, just like,
Yeah.
You can play it out while it's
Yeah.
happening. What I did, how I got punished by,
Yeah.
what I could have done differently, in that situation.
I tell you how
really
many
just
times in
playing
my
it out.
head I saw Jace dash attack me as Samus, I banana him, I go to grab him, and she's just bounced.
Yeah.
I
3 feet in
that.
the air.
And I
Yeah.
saw it so many times, I'm like, no. I'm never having that happen again.
Not
I'm
again.
never grabbing right after I land a banana on Jace as Samus ever again. Stupid bouncy bitch. Yeah.
God, and I realised that every time I lose a game or a set that I think is close, I remember it in so much more detail than if I win it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Yeah.
I'm like that. I remember like a 30-second like a time period of like back and forth. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
And but when I win, I see the beginning, the middle, and the end, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah, I'm like, that was good. I only see what I did right when I win. But,
Yes.
but when I lose,
Yeah.
I see like one or two things I did right. And I was like, cool. If I did more of that, that was fine. But I mainly see like when you lose, you do more.
Yeah. Why'd I press
You
that
always-
button?
I always
Why'd I
say,
jump
it's
there?
your
Why'd I-
adage in
yeah.
sport is
Yeah.
like you learn more from your defeats than your
Yeah.
victories.
Yeah.
How
100%.
do you feel about like your sets, Aero? Do you like so? I know you get like pretty salty about them. Most people do.
It's
But-
very embarrassing to watch yourself playing back again. You're like,
Yeah.
wow. Like in the moment, you're like, oh, that was a smart play, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done anything about that.
Yeah.
And you watch, like, why did I pick
Yeah,
that
stop
option?
rolling.
That's what,
Like,
yeah,
I
it's
keep
really
rolling,
interesting.
that's my
That,
I think it's a little bit different for me because I've never been a top player, so I think I'm not quite as invested into my sets, even the ones that I've like lost. Obviously, I get like annoyed or whatever, but I will more or less like focus on, I guess, how broken something is, rather than what I could have done. Like when the other night I was playing on like Wi-Fi. And like this Wii Fit trainer has like forward tilted my shield with deep breathing on, and it's like broken my shield because she's like neared it beforehand, and I'm like not thinking even really about like how I could have avoided it. I'm just thinking about how my shield has
Yeah,
broken
that
from
just happened.
Yeah.
from like being
Yeah.
forward tilted
Yeah.
by like this frame 6 move or whatever. But then I also don't like. I'm not going to bed thinking about it. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
not like stressing
Yeah.
Are
over
you
it.
not though? I feel like I've seen you in Discord sometimes where you're like, I can't sleep. Well, you did this. Okay, you did this with League of Legends.
I do it with League of Legends.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's because I'm better at League of Legends.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe because there's more like at stake. Like if we ever played like
you don't want to let your
Clash.
friends down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to Smash, where it's like, oh, I've let
It's on
myself
me.
down, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting.
The higher up you are on the ladder in your like competitive scene, the more you get affected by anything.
I think
Yeah.
that's
So,
probably true.
If you play like a Pokemon game and you know you're not going to be very good and you lose, you're like, okay, that's alright, I'll
Yeah.
forget about that. But if you know you're good at something and you do bad, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's what you're accustomed to
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Even going back to what we were talking about earlier, like mid-level into top player,
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
this is a write-off. If I do
Yeah.
well, that's sick.
Yeah.
I don't care. But it gets another mid-level, like, I need to win here.
Yeah.
I need to show that I'm
Yeah.
a better
It's
player in
like
this situation.
it's true. 'Cause
Yeah.
my probably the biggest example of this for me that springs to mind is I played Bastion Smashville, and he took a couple sets
Yeah.
off me. But there's one tournament, I think it was as a UQ or then like a UQ Smash or something, and he beats me kind of early in the morning, like round 2 of winners, and it's like last game, but he wins actually I think kind of well last game, and I was like, man, he played pretty well, but I should not lose that.
Mm.
Like, I don't care how much better he's gotten. He played well. There's no fucking way I should lose that set.
Yeah.
And I was just really frustrated. And I also knew for a fact, if next set I played him, whether it was that day or next week or next month, I was like, I'm going to fucking blast you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I did. I played him again, and I think I 9-stocked him. I don't think I lost a stock. But it was like, yeah, the thing where you just as well. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
fucking really let myself down, lazy. Credit him, played well,
Yeah.
but he's not, he should not be.
That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating when that happens, and he's obsessed. I'm like, forget Jace. Where's Vasya? This guy. So I've got to get that run back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Like knowing that next time you got it.
Yeah.
They just like it
It's a
never
funny feeling
comes.
when you don't get me started on that. I have so many.
My one is with Shadru.
Yeah, you never got the run back.
He double limped me at the ramp, and then he fucked off forever.
That's the worst.
I'm like, you
Yeah.
mother, you little bitch.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, you have anyone like that, Ben? You never got the run back against?
The only one, the closest one I can think of, and I don't really mind that much, was like probably Jace at the start of Ultimate,
Yeah.
where he was like 5-0 on me at the start of Ultimate. And by the time I feel like I probably could have beaten him or something like that,
Yeah.
then he'd already gone like April 2019.
It's not just a thing of like
It's never
getting
been a
the
big
run
deal.
back. It's like it's only the run back that you know you'll win. That's the one you
Yeah.
want. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, I beat you if I play you again, and you never get it. That's the one that kind of seals
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you have one here?
No, can't think of one off the top of my head.
What's the set that you've lost that you've been most frustrated with yourself at? What comes to mind if I asked you? I can think of one. I wonder if we have the same one.
Hinshu.
Hinshu. I thought you were going to say Hinshu. I was going to say Invisi.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
maybe
that's
I don't know,
a set.
I feel like you weren't as upset about that as you should have been.
Well, I wasn't.
You should have been
really-
very upset.
I
about
wasn't
it.
really trying. I was playing Corrin.
Yeah.
Didn't really play Corrin.
Yeah.
Kind of just played Corrin because I was like, oh, Corrin
Okay,
there.
hang on.
Corrin
Yeah.
side.
Funny move, funny character.
Honestly, I might even edit the clip into this after the YouTube
Yeah.
video. Can
That
you
would be good.
explain to us what's happened here? Please. Please.
Oh, I don't want to.
Please.
I
It's a cat behind you. Go lay down. It's alright.
Invisi plays Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
This character is dog shit.
He's pretty good with it though. He was
Yeah, he
ranked
had
at the
forward
scene.
clarity.
Yeah, smash forward,
He
ranked
had
at the
plenty
scene.
of notable scalps.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For some reason, people don't know how to play against Jigglypuff.
No.
And I can tell you how to play against
They always
Jigglypuff.
roll in.
I'll tell you how to play against Jigglypuff. Use some moves. That's how you beat Jigglypuff. So I'm playing Corrin or whatever. And Corrin has big moves, like forward air, nair, like
Pretty
all these
broken
moves.
character.
You like Jigglypuff cannot contest these moves. So I'm like doing these things or whatever. What happened? He misses. He whiffs the rest.
He whiffs the rest. Last stock, last game.
Yeah.
He whiffs the rest.
Oh dear.
And
And
in my infinite genius, because I'm a very smart player, I'm like, what would you do when you whiff rest? You charge a forward smash.
Right,
Probably.
who here
Well,
is
with Corrin, what,
But who-
did you not do
but what
neutral
does
beam
Corrin-
only?
Yeah.
What did that what you did? Did you neutral beam and miss it somehow?
No, I just
It's
charged a
worse.
forward smash.
Better than
Should you?
that. Better
Yes.
than that.
And because Corrin's like, this chainsaw is pretty cool that I have, like on my
charge
hand.
Yeah.
as a hit.
Except
It has a
for
hitbox.
instead
So-
of
Yeah.
charging it from 10 feet away, he charged it from 10 millimeters away.
And it's chainsaw woken her up. She's popped up and
Yeah.
busy.
Keeps hitting it.
Really well played.
He's SDI'd.
SDI'd and rested.
Because SDI works in this game, right, compared to like Ultimate or
Yeah.
whatever.
He's lost the last.
Frame one
Boom.
invincibility, yeah, really
And
cool.
for
I
Game
Game 3 last
Yeah.
stock. One more hit would have taken
Yeah,
it.
she's not
Yeah.
at zero getting it.
Like
full
60 or
She's
something.
dead
Like,
off
yeah.
of a smash attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, vicious, awful way to lose a set. Honestly, like actually,
Very funny. Very
one of the
funny.
It's all
most
you, man.
vicious ways to lose a set.
Oh jeez, I couldn't imagine.
Dude, that must have felt.
Neither
like
could we.
shit.
Neither could we.
I couldn't-
Everyone was watching like slow motion, like there's no way this is just happening right now.
The moment I forward smashed and started charging, I knew it was going to
Yeah.
happen as well.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just like continuing to hold it. I'm not really even sure what I'm
Hopefully it
supposed to
misses
do. Yeah.
something.
Better give him the Giphy cat, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like the second most watched clip on Tournament for some reason.
Really?
It's
That's
a
very
whip. It's
funny.
a beautiful clip.
It's a
So
good clip.
You've had some.
I've got to watch that now.
You've had some cracking tournament moments, like spiking me and not. Yeah.
Yeah, I spiked Jesmo in like, and he should have died because that's what happens when you like spike.
The
Diddy Kong while
Zelda
he's
dare
using-
on the.
Yeah, but because
Yeah.
Zelda down there like does not that much knockback, it was enough that Diddy Kong armored through it because this character has like armor while he's charging barrels.
For whatever reason.
And it's not even enough that it would matter for. It's like 30
Literally
minutes,
anything. Yeah,
which is and
really
for reference, Bowser's tough guy is like 19 units. So it's
And that only takes a rapid jab.
yeah,
basically.
it's barely
Yeah,
stronger
it's
than
not even Falco
tough guy.
laser.
and you've armored through it, and I've like died or something. I don't
I've
know.
never armored through a single move without B in my Smash 4 career with Diddy ever.
Except for that move. That's
I
the
had
only
no
time.
idea it had armor.
To the point where we spoke about it later, and you were like, you whiffed it.
Nothing else from
it must have been a week.
Were you? Okay.
I was very, very aware of him.
Okay. Well, I freaked.
I would have loved to have been there for when you missed the forward smash.
Yeah, actually, you just have to watch
The clips are still there.
The
I
play is
hit
the best
you!
part.
I hit you! You should be dead!
Craig was like, I hit you.
I hit you!
It's like, you should be dead. And I'm just actually.
You're just laughing. You're like, oh, you've dropped your controller already.
Yeah,
at that point.
it's just so funny.
Is that on Tournament? Like the.
Yeah, on the tournament at
I'm gonna see if I
YouTube.
can find it right now because
That's amazing. We'll show you before you leave, and I'll hopefully I'll put it up maybe at the end. Maybe at the end of the podcast, I'll like have that in the outro. They're just so good.
There are so many good moments like that in
Yeah.
Oz Smash.
Yeah.
I'd love to try and cover eventually. Like, in
We
this podcast,
actually,
like, so
fuck it, we'll do that. Maybe even next episode or something. We'll do like just like a unexplored, like funniest, like most iconic moments. Because I have several.
Because like
I'm good for a clip.
many people, almost everyone's probably seen like the Nikes Ghost, like SC15. Like
That's
very
the
funny,
controller.
but it's like, come on, we've already seen that 3
Yeah.
times. Like we need to see more. Like
No, you gotta see it again.
We have already seen
Yeah.
that. Something's really poetic
So-
about watching. You pause it on that exact frame, and like Nike's hand is moving so fast that it like curves
Yeah.
in the because of how the camera's picked it up. It's like his arm is like actually like curved.
You gotta put like some little meme voiceover clips above it as well, like you can actually pinpoint the
yeah, I was exactly thinking that exact very
It
moment.
always go back on stuff because then you
Yeah.
start looking at like the crowd and you're like, oh, what's like that person? Like, what's Wave
Like,
Guy doing?
everyone's like, oh my god.
And Dylan will tell you like the second where Wave Guy like gets up and walks over to play his set, and he's like, it's hysterically funny. Poor Mikey's, but hey, he had a cracking tournament, so
Yeah, second,
but so
third place.
third,
Yeah.
brilliant.
One of the best players at that tournament.
Yeah.
Easy,
But,
just left it.
MK
Lol.
versus Yoshi
Plus
is
4
like
matchup. That sucks.
yeah, like plus
Yeah.
4. What do you do?
What do
Yeah,
you
I mean,
do?
did the same to Jace round one. Winners goes did the same, like just viciously annihilated like the Rosalina and the Villager, I think.
Yeah.
Poorly designed.
Yeah, probably not great. They removed that kind of, right? They nerfed it.
They nerfed the up air. I think it's sent more horizontally instead of above. Yeah.
Well, I think that'll probably about an hour and a half. So that'll probably wrap us up for today.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Brady, for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Really
It's good.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good.
Hope you
Good
had a good time. Would you like to shout out your Twitter or something, or I don't know, what do you care about?
I didn't know by heart.
You don't know.
I go on there to talk shit, but I don't know anything
Well,
else
you can
about
say
it.
you can find.
That's fair.
Oh, let's see what it is.
Make sure to give him a follow and go to
Is
Big
the-
Bob. Hopefully, you can go to Big Cheese because we expect big things.
It's not one of the SSB Twitter handles, is it?
Absolutely.
Bro-
it is.
look,
SSB
Pretty sure it's SSB
Bro1.
Bro1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
Because it's also my YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have YouTube as well.
Yes.
What do you put on there?
We haven't done anything in a while. This doesn't work for me, I swear.
No.
Alright, there we go.
If it falls again, just leave it. It's alright.
Yeah.
Twitter is at SSB Bro1.
This is Big Bro1.
And YouTube
The
is
future
the same.
winner of Big Cheese
Yeah,
2022.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is that a prophecy? You
I
calling
think
that?
so.
You're calling that?
I'm calling that.
Okay.
I feel like I genuinely would. I feel like not too confident, but
Alright.
after the pre-Phantom local and almost beating Ghost, I was like, yeah, okay. I think I'm
Definitely
there.
doable.
I'm gonna put
Yeah.
smart money. I'm gonna say if he goes Jono,
Mm-hmm.
can't not.
Wow, you're a pussy,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. you can't not bet.
I think you
on
should
it.
lose money on betting on that, actually.
Well, I don't want to do it. But yeah, I'm optimistic. We'll see. But you can't go past Jono.
You were the closest set. I can't remember what event it was. It might have been the Queensland Rambat, or it could have even been. You didn't play him at BAM, did you?
Who?
Jay Jizzle.
No, I
No.
played him at Rambat in February.
Yeah, and that was like
That was like every
if-
game was close.
if a few things just went a little bit
I
your
felt very
way.
confident in that.
You got unlucky. You picked all the right options, but
Basically-
it was just unlucky.
Yeah.
Exactly, like that very easily could have been a 3-0
Yeah.
to Brady.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
first game I remember wasn't in my court, but the second two I had a lead and I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
So it was after that I was like, I think I'm actually decent.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. Like, after that, I was like, cool. I was like, bam, I should be good.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to Big Cheese.
Should be
and how
good. I'm
that
looking
turns
forward
out.
to.
I'd also just like to mention, thank you everyone who's been watching the episodes. We've had some good feedback and really appreciate it. If you'd like the content, please do feel free to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, retweet posts and stuff like that. Get the episodes out there. We definitely want to interact with more people.
Yeah.
And if you have any topics you want covered, any specific guests you'd like to come on the podcast, please let us know. We're super open to all that stuff.
Absolutely.
But that'll just about do us for today. Shout out to Sarah's hat.
Very nice hat.
Yeah, tips it.
Where's my newspaper?
No newspaper for you.
No newspaper?
That's
Okay.
it. But thanks all for listening and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.